Okay, so, he jabs. And as soon as I see it coming, boom, I chun. Remember, over the top is chun, under here. This is the pow concept. I have cup, which is actually part of the whipping concept. He comes here, right? I have the chun concept. I have the pow concept. I'm sorry. And when I do so, it's part of the beam, as far as the beam gain, the whipping energy. Alright? So, when he comes, 1. Now let's say he has his hands up and he's just fighting me, right? And I decide to go, that's the half. That's the using, I have his hand down so you can see it, but before he did anything, I use the chun to intercept. Or before I did anything, boom. I use the power to intercept. Right? Around using boom. Before he does anything, I come in. That's the half beat. That's intercepting the concept the best way. Half, 1. Okay, these are all good. Well, then you have 2, 1, 2. Because he jabs at me. He crosses at me. Right? I'm using my Jeep maybe, I use my pop. Doesn't matter, and this structure, you can think of it as the Thai bird structure, right? You can think of it in Choi Foot, it's horse, right? Or you just think of it as your hands up. Whatever the language is, remember, the language doesn't change the concept. So he jabs, and I do that, right? Well, sometimes I want to be really hard, sometimes I want to be really soft, sometimes I want to be a little bit neutral. If I go, I deflected it, but I lost it. If I'm too soft, then, then boom, he hits me. But he goes cross. Okay. If I don't expect it, or he does something wrong, I just make sure I don't get hit. Right? But if I see it coming, let me go over some. I parry it, and for a minute I'm hit. But what this really is the king, which is the energies. Right? You can make this absurd and think that it's like magical energies, but it's more just concepts. It's sinking energy, rising energy, whipping energy. This is sinking energy. It's also a little bit dead energy. In other words, boom and boom. Because for that second, I created what we call a leap. His hands are up, right? If I'm trying to hit you and your hands are up, right, assuming that I didn't do something smooth like, the chun one, right? Or let's say here, right? There's no leak. When there's no leak in your ceiling, no water gets in. When he jabs, see for that second? That's the leak, right? I created that leak. And then the water goes in the leak. It goes cross. Right? You can think of it as the monkey hand. You can think of it if you're doing praying mantis as a mantis hand. I don't care what you do with it. Call it George. Right? The language doesn't matter. It creates the opening. So, it goes horse and trolley foot, because it looks like.
It's like a horse galloping.
It's like a horse galloping, exactly. Right? And again, to a certain extent, it's this. Right? Again, we get back to those concepts. Boom. Boom. Does that look familiar? It's the same concept. Right? He gave me one opening, maybe he didn't give me another opening, so yeah, see, and boom! It's all the same idea, right? Whether you call it horse, call it Thai bird, call it George, I don't care. It's the same idea, but it's create that lead. Here I don't have any leads. Got my hand down. And again, If you're not careful, right? No, you don't know that as a punch. Don't always have to think of all these things as a punch, right? I showed you these things, right? As punch defenses, right? And then the other day I showed them to you as clinching, right? Right? Because in other words, when you go the chun one over and under, it's the same as when you're pummeling in for the 50-50 for the body clinch. When you're doing the power one and you're coming from under and under, it's the same thing if you're grabbing my neck when we're doing the tie clinch. Right? So the same thing. Knock down. Right? Sometimes in submission wrestling, or wrestling, they do this. Right? In Thai, they do this. Right? What, jut in Wing Chun?
Which one?
Jut.
Yeah, Jutsu.
It's jut sound, right?
Yeah.
Jut sound. Right? Wing Chun probably thinks jut and then thinks, striking. I think jut and I think clinching, but it doesn't matter. It's the same idea. So I have a single jut, double jut, right? Boom. Grab. Punch. Grab. He punches me. Grab. Grab. Punch. Punch. It's the same. Don't in your mind ever think that one is grappling, one is striking. It's grappling, striking. No, it's all the same.